Thank you, everyone. It's fascinating to be here, and as Tim said, even myself, I wouldn't have thought that we could do what we can do today, or not only us, but all our customers, or as we say, collaborators out there in the world. We are the ones enabling them to do the fantastic stuff that Tim just talked about. So CELLINK, Cells Inc. That's what it's all about. What started this company is really the issues that we have today in healthcare, obviously. There are 16 lives lost every day because of lack of organs. 9 out of 10 drugs fail because they're tested in the wrong methods. And a lot of animals are being exposed because of the healthcare issues that we have in the world. This is really the driving forces behind the team that founded CELLINK, and it's still the passion for each and everyone today in the team. We can create human tissues, as Tim said. We can, in the future, create larger and larger organs. I will share with you today what some of our collaborators are already achieving today. We can save lives because we can actually test drugs on actual cancer models or actual disease models. We can take cells from you or your tumor and replicate that tissue structure and test personalized medicine on it. So really getting and moving from healthcare today to the future of healthcare, which we believe is in personalized treatments. So you all know that many answers lie in 3D. But to tell you the truth, and most of you probably don't know this because you're not in the biology field, but today, all drugs out there, all development in healthcare and pharma industry, which are pumping in millions, are testing in 2D. They do everything in 2D because that's the way it's always been done. So what we do is, of course, that we have hydrogels or inks that are developed to nurture the cells, depending on the cell. I'll explain a bit more in depth later. Build a scaffold structure which allows the cell to proliferate and live and be able to either create then a tissue or an organ model. So doing exactly what all of us are doing here, 3D printing stuff, that's really the key. The body is very complex. There is everything down to viruses, which basically down to micrometers, but there's also big implants, organs. So as Tim again mentioned, we have been developing different types of printers over the years to enable printing of the different parts of the tissue structures. Looking at what we have today, we actually have 8 instruments. You have 6 featured here. But what we do is we work with light-based, just like many of you do. We work with light-based because with light-based, we can achieve very, very fine precision. So if we print only one material, one cell, we can actually use light-based. Very fine structures to either fix a nerve, spinal cord, cornea, or a few of those organs. But also the mainstream, 95% of the industry that is quite booming today is in extrusion. So it's typical pneumatic extrusion, where of course we have some systems that have up to 6 printheads, allowing us to create very complex structures. Because some of our organs are very complex. They have vascularization, they have blood vessels, and so forth. They are quite complex. But printing is one thing. The difficulty is actually in where CELLINK started, with the inks. The inks are quite specific because they need to address every part of our body. So we have inks designed for stem cells, we have inks designed for skin cells, for bone cells, for tumor cells, for pancreatic. So there's different hydrogels that CELLINK has been developing over the years to be able to nurture different types of cells. And that is what actually makes CELLINK unique. We have both the inks and the printers. As Tim said, our journey started in 2016. So it's only a 6-year-old company today. We started with the cell and the inks. We started by creating the inks to provide the industry with that. At that time, a printer that could print cells would cost about $10 million. So it wasn't really affordable. So the team decided to launch the first bioprinter. We sold it at $10,000. So making it affordable to researchers out there, and that's again what we are all about. We want to enable all the researchers. There are plenty of researchers out there. But unless we provide them with the right tools, this is not going to happen. So CELLINK developed the inks. We launched what we call the Incredible, which was the first instrument, in 2017. Since then, we have been able, together with our collaborators, to create artificial human cornea, so saving lives or saving eyes, making blind people not blind anymore. We have launched various different instruments over the years, as you can see, with quite a rapid pace. From 2017 to today, we have 8 instruments. We have also expanded by acquisition. So we have acquired 2 companies over this time in order to expand our portfolio, because of course we can sit and invent everything ourselves, but that will take time. So basically what you can see here is that there's been quite a rapid process for this company, because the demand is out there, craving to actually change the future of healthcare. So both in terms of instruments, but also in terms of actually developing the healthcare industry. So yes, we have printed organs today. And yes, we are changing the pharma market today, because instead of testing drugs in 2D, we can actually help the pharma industry to test in 3D and on my specific tumor, not anyone's tumor, not the generic tumor, making sure that you don't die from the treatment, but you actually are saved by the treatment. We now have moved to our step where we actually inaugurated GMP. So as you know, good manufacturing practice. This will allow us to actually provide our market with translational clinical grade application. So from doing a lot of our work in vitro, which means outside the body, we are now going to move into next phase of our company, which is in vivo, allowing our researchers to not only create organs, but actually allowing them to place them in humans. So human trials are going to take place and have actually already taken place. Many of you might have heard that there was a printed ear about 2 months ago that has been implanted, 3D printed with one of our systems, not one of our inks, but one of our systems. Looking at CELLINK today, 6 years later, we have 1,500 labs with our printers. 1,500 labs in more than 65 countries globally. We are today not a Swedish company, we are very much a global company with a lot of employees outside of Sweden. We have 5 offices, 2 in the US, 1 here in Scandinavia, obviously, but also 2 offices in Asia. And if we look at our customers, more than 8,000 publications with our instruments and with our inks. So of course, they are the ones enabling the future of healthcare. Talking about sustainability, I think for us, it's not so much a focus on reduction of materials. We do what we can, like everyone else. But for those of you who are familiar with the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, we have decided to focus on SDG 3, which is all about good health and well-being, where actually there are 129 sub-targets addressing both animal testing, drug testing, and creation of organs. So we actually measure ourselves against how we can deliver or enable our customers to deliver on those targets. That's what we've chosen to do. And we have also recently focused on refurbishing our systems. Our first system launched in 2017. Since we have upgraded our technology quite drastically over the years, we now offer customers to buy back their old systems when they buy a better system or a higher precision system, and we refurbish that system and upgrade it and sell it again. All to save and make sure that all our technology is used for the best. Since I was asked to bring a print here, and I said, sorry, cells don't like this kind of climate. They want it to be 37, 36 degrees, and they won't live here with us, so I couldn't been showing around. But I will show you instead a short video that hopefully explains.
The CELLINK Bio X6 is an evolution in science and medicine, leading us to incredible medical breakthroughs. It's a 3D bioprinter that prints living structures using cells and other organic materials. For the first time in history, turning an impossible dream into a reality, giving millions of people the ability to print living human tissue and organs. The Bio X6 is a product of CELLINK's bioconvergence technology. Bioconvergence integrates the latest technological and scientific advancements with biology, saving countless lives and advancing medical science above and beyond our current limitations. At the core of this powerful technology are the CELLINK bio-inks, composed of millions of carefully sourced and tailored living cells suspended in an organic hydrogel. And different types of bio-inks are customized to print a wide variety of tissue. Using multiple print heads, the Bio X6 desktop system can simultaneously print with 6 different bio-inks, printing incredibly detailed and complex living structures. Patients' own cells can be used to bioprint tissue, reducing the possibility of a negative reaction during a transplant. The printed tissue can also be used for individualized drug testing. The Bio X6 opens an incredible array of possibilities, such as printing tissue with embedded electronics, and new applications are growing all the time. Thousands of labs across the globe are now using CELLINK's products and are making incredible breakthroughs in medical science. Bio X6 is leading us to an extraordinary future in medicine. Where will it lead you? Start printing.
So I was asked to wrap up quickly, but again, what I said, there are some very interesting collaborations out there. Again, it's the researchers really enabling. This is actually a company in India who is today moving into clinical trials of printing corneas. So 1.2 million lives can be saved who are blind today, and obviously today there's organ donors, there are cornea donors, but of course this now you can take your own cell, print your specific cornea, because of course the structure might be slightly different. They do this today both with our Bio-X and with our Lumen-X, so they can actually use both extrusion and light-based printing. So very soon, corneas can be done. We also have another university in Sydney who have worked with recreating heart patches. So when you have a stroke, the nerves in the structure in the heart actually die and can't be recreated. What they do is that they take, again, the patient's cell, create and mimic the patch, and replace that area. Because the inks are biodegradable, your body will learn how to recreate itself using the inks that we provide. This is also now moving into clinical trials. And last but not least, I think the biggest revolution that is happening now is what I mentioned before. We are today, Carcinotech, a company in the UK, are printing tumor models. They're printing specific tumor models so that we can test drugs in order to save lives of all types of patients out there. So thank you for having me here today. My message is we enable these fantastic researchers, and I'm super proud of them. Thank you.